Helo na, a chroeso mawr I Cynhadledd Genedlaethol Academi Seren. A very warm welcome everyone to the National Seren Academy Conference. Glenda Dwi, I'm Glenda, and I'm delighted to be with you to host this virtual conference this year. I'll be your host for the 3-day event, presenting bilingually in English and Welsh throughout the 3 days. 3 diwrnod llawn o ddigwyddiadau a phrofiadau I chi. A massive thank you for taking the time to attend this conference. I'd also like to thank all of our contributors who've given their time to provide you with their insights and expertise. Ydyn, ni'n ddiolchgar iawn I bawb am ymuno ni ac am gyfrannu at y digwyddiad. So why are you here today? You're taking part in this programme because you've been identified as Wales's brightest learners, Goreion Cymru. You who have the potential to study and succeed at leading universities in the UK or overseas. Cyfle chi fanteisio ar lwyth o gyfleoedd felly. As well as the conference, you'll be able to access loads more opportunities to help you understand what studying at university could be like and to support you to get there. Yma prospectus Seren. Your Seren prospectus includes information about everything the Academy programme has to offer, including summer schools, ysgolion haf, university application support, academic masterclasses, and more. Take a look at this to get an idea of what's in store for you. A chofiwch am gofod Seren hefyd, your Seren space. You're the very first year group to use this fantastic resource. It's there to support you through your Seren journey, ar hyd y daith. On Seren Space, you can view events and opportunities, access mentoring, and view lots of useful resources on applying to and attending university. Defnyddiwch hwn, gwyliwch y gofod yna. Ac felly, beth sy'n ar eich cyfer chi? What does this conference offer you? Over the next 3 days, we invite you, your parents and carers, to engage in information, advice, and guidance sessions about applying to, getting into, and succeeding at university, y daith gyfan yna. You'll hear from leading academics from Seren partner universities, Seren graduates, and current undergraduates. You will also hear about exciting upcoming opportunities and join us in the live question and answer session, digwyddiadau byw ar eich cyfer chi. A dyma fydd y drefn. Each evening, we'll roughly follow the same structure. I'll share this now so that you know what to expect. I ddechrau, to start, you'll have an introduction from me. You'll then hear a keynote from different speakers about their experiences with Seren and how it supported them. That will be followed by announcements about opportunities available to you whilst you're part of the Seren programme. And then a short information session. Yna cewch ddewis o sesiynau am gyngor, gwybodaeth ac arweiniad. You can then choose to attend one of 2 information, advice and guidance sessions, which consist of a short presentation followed by a Q&A. And each evening will end with an extended slot for you to attend the university exhibition, yr arddangosfa. There are also a variety of masterclasses, dosbarthiadau meistr arbennig I chi. You can watch throughout the conference or you can pick up afterwards. There are also a variety of masterclasses, dosbarthiadau meistr arbennig. You can watch throughout and after the conference. I'll tell you more about how this works shortly. But don't worry if it sounds like a lot of information. Bydda I yma o hyd. I'll be here to guide you through the whole way. As well, you can take the conference at your own pace. Dim bris felly. So if there's anything you really want to see and don't get the chance in these 3 evenings, the link to this online conference platform, Eventbox, will still be available through Seren Space for you to revisit. Felly cyfle I wylio eto neu wylio o'r newydd maes o law. But now, before we get down to business, let's hear from some Seren graduates. Bobl ifanc a fi yn eich sgidiau chi yn union. Those young people who have taken part in Seren Academy before, about how they found their time on the programme.
I think Seren is important because it gives the people who are like-minded the ability to work with other like-minded people and reach for a higher goal, pushes our minds further.
Dwi'n teimlo fod y raglen Seren yn hanfodol I addysg yng Nghymru. Oherwydd dwi'n teimlo fod mae lot o ddisgyblion yng Nghymru yn teimlo ofyn, neu falle bod nhw ddim yn perthyn mewn prifysgolion fel Rhydychen. Ond mae'r raglen yma yn torri lawr fel stereotypes a waliau.
The intracurricular aspect of Seren was a perfect opportunity to explore different courses in university. Many young people my age aren't quite sure what we want to do in the future, and this was a perfect opportunity to get to know what are our interests and what do we want to do.
Dwi wedi mwynhau gweld o gwmpas y gwahanol lefydd a cael bwyd neis a gweld gwahanol bobl a dysgu pethau newydd am lle enwog.
I've definitely enjoyed meeting new friends, meeting people with different and similar opinions and seeing what different people are interested in.
Cwrdd lot o pobl, creu ffrindiau newydd, cael y profiad o dysgu mewn steil prifysgol, oherwydd mae'n hollol gwahanol I fod yn y chweched dosbarth.
We got to see so much, learn so much. We got some lectures from some really important people. It's been just a spectacular experience.
Ardderchog, fantastic. And over the next few days, you'll hear about the brilliant support Seren Academy offers you. And we're so excited to find out how you get on. Heno, tonight's sessions will focus on how you can prepare effectively for applying to university. Sut I baratoi a chyfle gan bobl sydd wedi gwneud hyn. First, we'll be hearing from a Seren graduate about their time on the programme. Then we'll be announcing the exciting summer school opportunities you can take up whilst part of Seren Academy, with further information about the programmes available to support your journey coming tomorrow and on Thursday too. Heno, tonight, we'll also hear advice from one of our Seren University partners about how to choose the right university. Sut I ddewis y brifysgol iawn I chi. After that, you have the option of attending one of two sessions, a dewis yna. There'll be one session on managing your UCAS timeline and a live session via Teams Live on applying for international courses and summer schools. This live session will be taking live questions to put to our panel. So if you have anything you want to ask us on these subjects, please do come along. And remember, recordings will still be available after the conference itself. And any questions you might have after tonight, you can still email them to seren@casba.wales or email them to us now so we can ask them tonight. Gofynnwch eich cwestiynau heno, seren@casba.wales. Bydd mwy o'r un math o gyflwyniadau dros y 2 noson nesaf. We'll have further presentations with Q&As tomorrow and on Thursday. You'll hear from more experts about a variety of topics relevant to you as you start to think about entering higher education. Throughout the conference and beyond, you'll be able to access academic masterclasses in a range of disciplines, llwyth o ddosbarthiadau meistr amrywiol, a chyfle I ymweld ar arddangosfa yna, an opportunity to navigate yourself through our online exhibition. You'll find all of these sessions on Eventbox, the conference platform. You'll have access to them during and after the conference, remember. A mae'n adnoddau hefyd. Our fantastic university partners have uploaded important materials and resources such as prospectuses, information sheets and videos, campus tours to help you find out more about each institution. Manylion pwysig am y sefydliadau gwahanol. You can access these at any point, and between 7:40 and 8:20 each day, we'll have our exhibition, Arddangosfa, where there'll also be an opportunity to speak to some of the universities live. A diolch yn fawr iddyn nhw. Thanks to our university partners. And yes, go and take up that opportunity to speak to them. Ar dosbarthiadau meistr yna, the masterclasses will help you explore the subjects you might want to take at university. Alongside these, you will have access to a reflection document, cyfle I fyfyrio. This document will help you think about which subjects you enjoyed, which you didn't enjoy as much, and how what you have seen may have changed your thinking about what subjects you want to study. Meddyliwch amdano. We hope you'll find these helpful in supporting your next steps. As many of our contributors are from outside of Wales, some of the presentations will be in English only. But as I'll be hosting the Q&A sessions, we do encourage you to ask your question in Welsh if you wish. Fe bydda i yno i dderbyn cwestiwn yn Gymraeg neu yn Saesneg. Gadewch i ni fynd amdani felly. Let's get this conference underway. First, we're so delighted to be joined by a Seren graduate to talk about her time on Seren. Mimi Nanood.
Hello everyone, my name's Mimi. I'm from South Wales and I am currently a first-year undergraduate studying history at the University of Oxford. I started my Seren journey after my GCSEs and going into sixth form. I attended my conference. That's one of the first things I remember about the Seren network. And I was provided mentoring through Slipstream Education, which was really helpful because I got paired with a second-year historian who was also studying at Oxford. So if you are provided that mentoring, make sure you make the best of it that you absolutely can, because it is such a helpful resource. And I also attended the Jesus College Residential Summer School, which I'm going to tell you more about in just a little bit later. So before Seren, I didn't really know anything about higher education. I knew there were institutions called Russell Universities, but I couldn't really tell you what that meant. I couldn't tell you anything really about student finance or UCAS or writing a personal statement. So for me, attending my first conference in 2020, finding out more about higher education was so helpful because they started giving us guidance on student finance. I learned what a Russell Group University actually was, and it was just really helpful in getting a foundation of what it might look like applying to higher education and what university life might look like for me. I also think it's really important for Welsh learners to think about higher education because we as a group, we are underrepresented in the UK's top universities. And I think personally, university is one of the best places to nurture your intelligence in a subject that you are passionate about, because you've made it into Seren, so it's quite obvious that you are all capable and talented students. But even if university isn't necessarily the route for you, if you're thinking more about doing a degree apprenticeship or perhaps attending a conservatoire, Seren can still be really helpful in helping you with things like that. I think it's just important to nurture things that you enjoy and that you show intelligence for. So circling back, in my opinion, honestly, one of the best opportunities that is offered by Seren is the residential summer school at Jesus College, or the virtual one, because there are two. I think, especially if you are interested in applying to Oxbridge, which is a little acronym for Oxford and Cambridge, if you didn't know, it's such a helpful and formative experience because you sort of get to begin to understand how universities like Oxford and Cambridge work. Over the 5 days, you attend lectures, you attend seminars, and you attend something called a tutorial that is exclusive to Oxford and Cambridge. Oxford and Cambridge are the only universities that work to this sort of tutorial system, which if you attend the summer school, you will be able to find out more about. But it's so helpful to come up here and see what university life is like and see what your schedule might look like. And you'll be split into groups. So don't worry if you're a STEM person and you really don't want to attend a humanities lecture, because they will split you into 3 groups. I believe they are STEM, humanities, and human sciences. And you spend the week doing things that are more tailored to your degree or the degree you're interested in doing. You will come together to do some group activities at some point, which are, again, so much fun. And even outside of the realm of academics, you get to visit museums, you get to visit some other Oxford colleges, you get to see what a formal dinner's like. That was really exciting for all of us, I can remember, because we went to New College for our formal dinner, which, if you don't know, is where they filmed Harry Potter. So that was really exciting for all of us. And you will make so many good friends who you'll be able to keep in touch with throughout the university application process. I know I definitely did. And having people there who are sort of in the same situation as you, especially if you are applying for Oxbridge, which can be quite stressful. It's so nice to have that support network around you and have people that you can message and be like, I'm struggling a bit today. And quite often they'll message you back and they'll say, I won't lie, I am too. So it's just nice to know that there are people that are in the same situation as you. And I know I've sort of talked a lot about how the summer school is beneficial if you want to apply to Oxbridge. But even if you don't want to apply to Oxbridge, the summer school can still be such a good experience to find out what university life is like. And it is an absolutely amazing thing to be able to put on your personal statement to say that you went to a summer school at Oxford, because I know I did. I put it in my personal statement. And yeah, it's just so helpful. You make so many friends and it's just amazing to see what university life is like. I mean, this city as well, because I live here now, is amazing and wonderful. And I cannot stress how much I love it here. But yeah, I hope that you all enjoy your Seren conference. I hope I haven't rambled on at you for too long, because I know sometimes when people are constantly talking at you, it does seem like it's a bit much, but I hope it's helpful to get insight from me. If it hasn't been, I'm sorry. But yeah, I hope that you all have a great conference, and I wish you all the best in everything, in applying to uni, if that's what you choose to do, or any other route that you choose to take, because you guys can absolutely do it, because you are a member of the Seren network, which means that you are smart and you are capable. So just have faith in yourself. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Diolch o galon, Mimi. Thank you so much, Mimi, for sharing. So inspiring. Nesa, un o wynebau cyfarwydd iawn, Seren. I'll now hand over to Matt Williams from Jesus College, Oxford, to introduce our summer school opportunities, followed by our first information, advice and guidance session. This will provide you with the necessary information to make informed choices about university. Iwan Hopkins o Brifysgol Caerdydd, Cardiff University. He'll talk you through how to make decisions about what to study at university and how to choose where to go. Cwestiynau pwysig. Ond yr ysgolion haf yna'n gyntaf. Let's hear about the Seren School offerings for you, this year's Seren Academy learners.
Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Matt Williams. I am a tutor and academic here at Jesus College at the University of Oxford. Jesus College is known as the Welsh College of Oxford University because it was founded 450 years ago as literally the first university college for Welsh people anywhere in the world, even though it's right in the middle of England. And we are delighted to be able to offer 2 exclusive summer schools for Seren learners, which will be completely free, and we'd love you to apply and get involved with these. The first is the Seren International Online Summer School, which will be running from the 17th to the 28th of July. It's online, we've got up to 400 spaces available. It's international in the sense that you'll be working and speaking with tutors from literally all over the world who are in love with their subjects. It's very flexible. So you've got holiday plans or you're planning to get a job, it's not a problem. You can work on the programs that we'll be offering whilst doing anything else that you might want to be doing in your summer. We've found that this summer school has been really good preparation for someone wishing to apply to a competitive university, not just Oxford. We will give you subject support, we'll give you loads of super curricular experience, and also we'll give you the confidence and the tools to apply to universities like this. The second summer school is the Seren Residential Summer School, which will be here in Jesus College. You'll be living with us for a week in August. It's from the 14th to the 18th of August. Again, entirely free. We'll even pay for your transport to get to and from Oxford. You'll live in our bedrooms, you will have lectures with our academics, and you'll experience what life is like at a world-class university. Again, it's not designed for people specifically thinking of applying to Oxford, it's for anyone enrolled in Seren, so that you can get a really good idea of what life is like at university, so that you can have some taster lectures and some great super curricular experiences, and so that you have confidence to make an application to whichever university you would like to apply to. Okay? For the application process, you'll be given lots of information by your Seren Hub coordinators, and there will be details distributed throughout this conference. We will ask you basically to fill in an application form which mimics what it's like to apply to university. And the reason for us doing that is so that we can give you feedback on your application and give you a bit of a taster of what it's like to apply to university, because we found that that's really helpful so that people know what it's going to be like to apply to a competitive university. So specifically, we'll ask you to write a little personal statement about what you're interested in and what you've done in pursuit of your interests, and we'll ask you to write a short essay. Now, we're not doing this because we're evil and we want to take up lots of your time. Like I say, we want to give you a practice of what it's like to apply to a competitive university. In the personal statement, please tell us about what you are interested in. Make sure your personal statement is personal. Tell us what specific things within your subject you find fascinating and what you've done about it. What have you read? What have you watched? What have you listened to? What have you thought about it, right? Tell us about you and your academic interests, because that's exactly the sort of stuff that needs to go into a UCAS personal statement when it comes time for you to apply to other universities. Okay, and for the essay, that's a bit like an interview at Oxford, because then you're explaining your thoughts about a particular word in this instance, and you're explaining what you think about it. Again, it's a really useful skill and worth practicing, and we will mark and evaluate all applications regardless of whether or not they are successful. So it should be a really useful process, even just applying to these summer schools. So get involved. These summer schools have been running for 7 years. They've got a fantastic track record in supporting students in their university applications and choices, and it's honestly just the most fun part of my year. I love it. I love working with Seren students, and we'd love to work with you. So please do get stuck in, get in touch if you have any questions, and we'll look forward to seeing you next summer. Thanks everyone. Diolch yn fawr. Bye.
Hi guys, my name is Ewan Hopkins and I work for Cardiff University. Welcome to the Seren conference, and in particular this part all about making choices. I wanted to just give you a quick 5 to 10 minute talk through about what you can actually consider when moving forwards in terms of making your choices. You might be wondering, well, I definitely want to go to university, but I don't know how to find out more. I don't know what I can do. I don't know where I can go. First thing to say is that for every single person who wants to go to university, there is going to be a course and there is going to be a university for you. When you add all higher education institutions together, so universities, further education colleges, sports, art, music, drama colleges, there's around about 400 different places you can go to in the UK alone. And also when you look at UCAS, the Universities and Colleges Admission Service, when you look at their website, when you look at all their course choices, there's actually over 50,000 different courses you can choose from. So there will be something for everyone. It may take more time. I look back on my time when I was looking at courses. I've got a twin brother who had known for years he wanted to do a certain course, which was computer science, whereas for me, that really wasn't what I was looking for. So there were plenty of times where I thought, well, maybe I'm not going to find a course for me, maybe university isn't going to be for me. But just by doing a bit more research and by taking a bit more time and by looking at the sort of things I'm going to show you today and really sitting back and thinking about things, I was able to find the course I really wanted to study, which ultimately ended up being English language. So there's plenty of courses, plenty of universities you can look at and you can consider. In terms of where to start in looking at what you want to do, I'd always recommend trying to find a course first before you find a university. So once you found a course, then you can look at what places you can do it. But what we'd always say is think of the 4 C's. So think of your course, the campus and city, so where you want to stay, and also the career, so what you want to do next. But if we just start off with the course, like I mentioned, when it comes to the course, the best thing you can do and the most important thing to do is choose something you've got a genuine passion for. Choose something you've got a genuine interest in and that you want to study. University is going to be at least 3 years, in some cases 4 or 5 year courses like medicine, for example. So you've got to make sure that you're taking a course there where you are going to be engaged, you're going to come with new ideas, and ultimately you're going to want to learn more. I loved my course at university, and that's because I chose a course I had a real passion for and a genuine interest in. So it meant that every single day I was excited to learn more about that course in lectures, seminars and tutorials, and through independent work as well. So really, really important to make sure you're choosing a course where you have a genuine interest in that. And that could be something you're doing now at school or college. It could be a topic you've taken further research on. It could be a topic you've done some further reading into. Whatever you think, whatever your main interest and passion is for, try and find a course where you can do that. And like I said, the UCAS website is a good place to look because it's got all courses, all requirements and all information on there as well. But I'll talk you through different places you can find out more shortly. But always think about that as a starting point. Do you want to do a single or a joint honours? A single honours is one course on its own. A joint honours is where you can do 2 subjects together if you want to. So that's something else to consider. If you're finding it difficult to narrow down between 2 different topics, then maybe try and find a course where you can combine them and do 2 together. Other things you can look at is the actual modules you're going to study on the course. So when it comes to university websites, which I'll discuss shortly, you can find out about different options you can take as in terms of modules when you're actually on the course. So that can help you make an informed decision because you then know exactly what you're going to be learning and what you're going to have the option to learn as well. So that's something else to consider as well. Also think about if you want to do a placement or a year abroad. Not all courses, not all universities can offer you that. So if you do like the idea of doing a placement year for a certain course where essentially it'll be a 4-year course and you'll go out and get an extra year in industrial placement, a long year of work experience basically, then make sure you're finding a course where you can do that. But that's something else to consider as well. Also look at things like the requirements and make sure you're looking at courses where you are going to be realistically working towards those grades. But the main thing we'd say, just to finish off this bit about courses, is always think about your passion, think about what you want to learn more about, and think about what you enjoy and what you want to look into in further detail. The next stage then, you're looking at the campus and the city, so where you actually want to stay. So what do you want from your new home at university? Look into things like accommodation. Accommodation is where you're going to live in your first year for most students in halls of residences. Have a look into that online, find out what's available to you. How close is it to the university? Ask yourself all these different questions about where you're going to live. What sort of location do you want to be in? Do you want to be a campus university where everything is all on one campus, as the name suggests? So your lectures, your accommodation, your students' union, laundrette, shops, libraries will all be in one location, but you might be a bit further out from a city or town centre. What you'll have on the other side then is something called a city university, where things are a bit more spread out, not so much on one campus, but it's in the middle of a city centre. So bear those sort of things in mind and think about what suits you best. Think about what you're hoping for from your new location. Do you want to be in a city centre? Do you want to be near a beach? Do you want to be somewhere more rural, more countryside based? There's around about 150 universities all over the UK, so plenty of different places you can look into. Think about how far away from home you want to be. If you're realistically gonna want to come home fairly often, then you probably don't want to be going too far away because it's going to get quite tricky then every Friday to try and manage that. In terms of a distance, it is down to every single student individually, but what we'd always say is a nice distance is around about 2.5 hours. That may sound like a lot at the moment, but when you actually get used to that journey to university from your home, it's actually not that bad. 2.5 hours is fairly manageable when you want to pop home and visit every now and then. Also think about transport links to and around the university. Other facilities, what are you expecting to do? Do you want to play lots of sports? If you do, look at the sports facilities, look at the students' union, look at the library facilities. If you're taking maybe an engineering course, look at the engineering facilities. There's loads of different things you can look into and you can find out more about by looking at university websites. And then the last C would be looking at the career. So you might want to be looking ahead to the next stage. So what you actually want to do when you graduate. Don't worry, you don't need to know at the moment what you want to do when you're older. The Seren conference isn't a way of saying, right, you've got to decide now what you want to do in 5 years' time. It just might give you an idea into what sort of courses you may take. If you do have a career in mind, you might think, right, well, if I want to go into this, let's do a bit of research and find out what sort of course I've got to take to gain the necessary skills and be able to graduate into that sort of career. So it's really important to bear those sort of things in mind. So they're the 4 C's, so the course, the campus, the city and the career. That's the best place to start. But like I said, relax. It can be quite stressful. I remember many years ago when I was looking, it was very stressful trying to find the perfect course for myself. It does involve a lot of reading and research, but make the most of the time you've got. Speak to as many universities over this conference as you can. Speak to universities via email and phone numbers as well, and ask as many questions as you can because you will find out all the information you need there. Just to finish off for the last minute, in terms of where you can go to find this information out, of course, university websites are going to be ideal because they'll list all the course information from grades, modules, and other stuff as well. It'll give you tips and guidance on applying to the university. It'll also have things like virtual open day dates. Virtual open days at the moment are great because it's a really easy chance to find out more about a university. Go on as many virtual open days as you can as well, because that'll really help you to find out more about different universities, and you can draw more comparisons. Currently, universities will most likely have more information online than they've had before because of the pandemic, because they know that students aren't as easily available to come and visit them. It means there'll be more information online than there's ever been at the moment. So make the most of it. It only takes 10-15 minutes to sit down, look at a university and make some notes, and then the following day you can look at a different university if you want to, and then start drawing comparisons like I said. Hopefully this has been a handy 10 minutes just to give you a bit of an introduction into how to start thinking about your options and how to start thinking about making choices, and also where. We hope you enjoy the Seren conference, and look after yourselves and take care.
Diolch yn fawr Iwan. Thank you for that insight. More food for thought for our learners. And there's a lot more to come. And how exciting it is to hear about those summer school opportunities. Eithriadol o gyffroes. We'll be sharing information throughout this conference about the opportunities available to you. And a reminder that in your own time, Seren Space is a great resource for finding out about these. Gofod Seren, cofiwch. Amser I ddewis nawr. It's now time to pick which presentation and follow-up Q&A you're going to attend this evening. You can choose from Managing Your UCAS Timeline, where you'll hear about the process of applying to universities through UCAS, getting both perspective of university staff and a Seren graduate. Or the second option, yr ail ddewis, on applying for international courses and summer schools, where you'll hear more about the summer schools and international opportunities on offer to you. Digwyddiad byw fydd hwn. This is running as a live session via Microsoft Teams Live, where we'll be accepting questions from you directly, remember. Felly, dewch a'ch cwestiynau. So anything you want to ask on this subject, please come along. Both will begin with a 10-minute video, followed by a Q&A, where you'll hear the perspectives of a range of expert panelists. But don't worry, if you like the sound of both, and can only attend one maybe, they'll both be available to view after the conference. Bydd na gyfle I wylio eto. These sessions will begin shortly. Take a look on the agenda for the exact time and that Teams Live link reference. Head to the lobby and see you in a moment.